Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Dollar Bin Digging, the video and article that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those cheap books that you can find, those little hidden treasures that might be sitting in those dollar bins out there when you go out hunting at the flea market, your LCS, or wherever you find your cheap comic books. Now, I wasn't planning on doing an article this week because it is a holiday after all, but I felt like, you know what? I am thankful for all of you who read the article and watch these videos. So for your sake, I felt like, you know what? Let me throw something together in the spirit of the holiday. So I have a very special Thanksgiving episode for you, covering some Thanksgiving themed books that I think are just kind of fun, and let's just enjoy it, and hopefully you guys enjoy this content as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Check out the article as well as all the other articles over on comicbookinvest.com. Tons of great free content for you dropping every day, both there as well as here. We're like that in common. And hopefully you like the books that I have chosen for you that are, again, focusing around this Thanksgiving holiday that we are find ourselves on today. So just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I'll be right back with this week's books. Okay, so as I teased in the open there, we are going to be doing a very special Thanksgiving-themed episode of Dollar Bin Digging for you. Now, these are just some pretty cool Thanksgiving-themed covers that you might be able to find in those dollar boxes, those cheap boxes that, a lot of people aren't paying attention to. And surprisingly, some of these actually do sell pretty well. It's not just, hey, it's kind of cool, let's grab a Thanksgiving cover. Some of these, if you can find for $1, you can flip it for a nice little profit for yourself. Yeah, if you were so inclined to do so. And our first book is actually from, as you might guess, Batman The Long Halloween. The reason why I said you might guess is because that series basically ran month to month. The covers were all focused in around the holidays. I mean, it was all based around a calendar, man. Not to spoil it, as long as that series has been out. Fantastic read. Pick it up, check it out, read it if you can. But in November, issue 2 was November. So Thanksgiving is the theme. So we get Solomon Grundy sitting at the table there, celebrating his Thanksgiving as part of this cover. And surprisingly, this issue 2, albeit not a key in any way, it's not like something major happens that I'm aware of in this book outside of it just part of the story that continues. This book does all right. $20, just like last week for this one. So this isn't like an old sale. This is very recent $20 sale. And if you want to go see what actually is on the market in case you wanted to buy one and you didn't want to go hunt in a cheap box for it, well, it's still going to cost you $20 because that's what this book apparently is going for these days. Now, this whole series heated up like a year or two ago as people were speculating on that's what the Robert Pattinson movie was going to be about. It's going to focus in around Long Halloween. That doesn't seem to be the case any longer, but it's still a great read and something we might see covered down the line. They did the animated movie for it. So, I don't know. That all being said, keep an eye out for this one. It's a pretty fun cover, and if you do find one for cheap, you could flip it for a few bucks if that's what you are inclined to do. Now, I don't know what it is about Solomon Grundy and the Thanksgiving holiday, but apparently DC likes using Grundy on their Thanksgiving-themed books, as here we go, Thanksgiving Terror on this JSA Classified Green Lantern issue 32. Grant, you can see it looks like the parade is going on in the background. See a pilgrim in the city. That's really the Thanksgiving, theme you're getting on this cover. But again, it's Grundy. Weird why they would pick Grundy again for this. Born on a Monday, I guess. But this book, surprisingly, I didn't know much about, but yeah, it does all right. Look, you can get $2.77 for it, but almost $12 shipping from France. But if you go shopping for it on the market, you go check out the marketplace. Well, it's $3, $5. So, okay, maybe it's not that expensive, but it's still kind of fun, right? Getting this little Thanksgiving themed cover with Grundy on it again, for whatever reason. Not everything about Thanksgiving has to be about sitting around the table. This one, in the midst of the parade, you get a whole bunch of fisticuffs going on, So, different take. Definitely interesting, but just a fun little book just to kind of cover. Which is going to take us over to Marvel for our next one. And this is going to be Vision and the Scarlet Witch, issue 6 in that 12-issue limited series. The Mutant Who Came to Dinner. So you can see, and you can guess who's crashing the Thanksgiving Day festivities. But little wispy Magneto looks like he's stopping in to see his children on the holiday. Or was he their child? Is he their father anymore? Probably. I don't know. With all the retconning, it's kind of hard to keep up what's actually the case in the Marvel universe these days. But back then, Magneto was Wanda and Pietro's dad, so he was coming to dinner. And if you want to see what this one sells for, this one actually sells for $350. Yeah, as recent as November 18th, just last week, $350. One of these sold for. It's not too bad. Fun for a buck, $350. I know. These aren't going to make you a ton of money, but if you do go shopping online for it, you can see they are asking $8 to $25, so it's not that cheap to go buy online. But you can find cheap copies like that one for $350, even online. Again, this is just kind of fun stuff to go and dig for. Not all of them are going to be $20 like Solomon Grundy, but who knows? Maybe we find a couple more that are worth a couple of bucks as we move on through the list. But so Vision and the Scarlet Witch, not an obvious Thanksgiving cover when you look at it at first glance, but you can see the turkey down in the corner and the table setting and everybody just kind of there with Namor and Cap and Doctor Strange and whatnot, all the guests ready to throw down as they celebrate the holiday with this unexpected supervillain showing up. Now, we're going to switch to a little bit more silly, I guess, with some of these covers, with our next one being, again, in the Marvel Universe, but Little Franklin Richards, Son of a Genius, Happy Thanksgiving. This Fantastic Four one-shot. Now you see, look at this. It reminds you of Looney Tunes. He's in the pot, get ready to get cooked up, but this time by turkeys. And you got Herbie with him. I don't know why the turkeys want to eat Herbie, but hey, it is what it is. Silly cover for a silly book, all ages title. So this is for kids to read, and that's why you're going to get a little bit of silliness. Now, this particular book doesn't have any copies out there if you want to go shopping for one. So good luck. None out there. Could be a little bit tougher. I mean, a lot of these kids titles like this, they're not always readily available, like online or even at shops. Like a lot of shops don't order this type of stuff. But I'm sorry, that's what actually sold. None actually sold recently. But what's actually available, there are a couple. $7.35 and $2.80. So it's still not expensive. A couple you can buy if you want to go and shop for it, but none actually sold. So not a lot of people looking for this thing, I guess. But it is weird. It's just an all ages book, and it is Thanksgiving themed. And I guess, not a lot of eyes on this. But I thought it was kind of a fun cover, so I felt like let's throw it in. You might find it at a dollar box somewhere, and just for a smile and a giggle, go ahead and pick it up. And sticking with kind of the kids theme, we're going to stick with Marvel Superhero Avengers #1, Mealtime Mayhem. Hey, look at that. I mean, you got Venom showing up. He's drooling all over the turkey. Everybody's pretty upset. He's ruining the holiday. You got Ant-Man and Wasp on the table as well. Yeah, silliness. Again, kids' books, right? Now, what actually sold on this one? Well, this one sold for $7. All right, so not too bad, right? For an all ages title like this. And if you want to go shopping for one, well, this one could run you $4. Look, plus $6 shipping. So you can end up costing you like $10 if you want to get this book. I don't know if you're going to find this at your shop. It's like, as I mentioned before, not a lot of shops order these all ages titles. So there's not a lot of copies usually of these books out there, which is why when some of the, especially the retailer incentives start to heat up, they heat up like a lot because most shops aren't ordering that many. But something to keep an eye on. You know, I don't know. Sometimes these silly books are worth picking up for a buck. Again, you can give them to a kid that you know, or just keep them for yourself because it's just kind of a fun little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of fun. And speaking of nostalgia and fun, our next book, we are going to go back to the 90s with Beavis and Butthead, #11. I know, this is a title. I always see Beavis and Butthead books in the cheap bins, and there are a couple that are worth a couple of bucks if you want to go and scoop them out, albeit like the first issue, and I think there was a Spider-Man one that does all right too. There's a couple of covers that people gravitate towards, but hey, we're talking about Thanksgiving today, so let's go with the Thanksgiving cover with Beavis and Butthead rocking their pilgrim gear. And this one, well, $6 it sells for. All right, again, none of these are going to set the world on fire, but this is just fun for Thanksgiving, after all. And if you want to go shopping for one, well, copies can run you anywhere from $5 to $12. All right, not too shabby for a Beavis and Butthead book. Like I said, there's a lot of these titles out there, and I do find a lot of these copies in the in those cheap boxes. Granted, a lot of times they're kind of banged up, but it's just fun stuff for you to go and be mindful of. And then sticking in the animated universe, I got one more just because, Thanksgiving. Just have fun. And Simpsons comics, number 51. Now monthly. Look at this. Eisner Award winner, this title. So this Simpsons comic, I see Homer and Mr. Burns as the turkey. Fun, silly, great show. What's this comic sell for? I know there's a lot of Simpsons comics out there. I gotta dig into these one of these days because I sometimes see Simpsons books in those boxes and I don't know what I'm looking at. And some of them are worth your time. Now, if we look at what's actually available on this thing, oh, I'm sorry, I had these backwards. So what actually sold is $4. One sold for $4 on October 3rd. But if you want to go see what's actually available on this, well, the available copy is $5 to $12. Kind of like the Beavis and Butthead in that kind of same range. So again, not super expensive, but it is what it is. The Thanksgiving themed covers. Just for fun, right? Thanksgiving holiday. Let's look at some fun covers. That's what I figured I would do for a few minutes and share that with you. Give you guys a break if you have a little bit of time in between dinner and dessert. Hopefully you'll watch this, check it out, and you enjoyed this little Thanksgiving cover spotlight, I guess. But that's what I got for you for this week. It's a few extra books. Again, not a lot of them setting the world on fire, but it is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoy this series as well as all the other stuff that I'm putting here on the channel. Thanks for stopping by and checking in. And I guess I will see you guys soon with some more content.